And hello, Mr. Michael.
Hey there, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you and a big congrats on Encounter. It's haunting, meditative, and it speaks volumes about a father's love.
Oh, thank you. That
Oh, you're,
was the intention.
you're so welcome. Now, what made you want to follow up your fantastic beast with Encounter?
I wanted to continue on the journey of sort of telling portraits of anti-heroes and getting these really conflicted, flawed, individuals and putting them inside a genre engine where you put a lot of pressure on them and they reveal who they really are. And I read this script and I really connected to this father-son relationship. I thought there was something really sort of honest and truthful and human about it. And I felt if I could get that right, if I could get that relationship right, then the audience would be as affected as I was when I read the material.
That's right. Now, a good sci-fi movie mirrors reality, and there's parts in here where the alien invasion in the form of a pandemic. It harkens back to what we're doing right now. I mean, where did you get the idea? How did that idea came about?
Well, it was a script that had already been written, or the first draft of the script was written 10 years ago by Joe Barton. And it was just one of those uncanny things where you write a piece of material, one day, and then a decade later it's getting made and it's got even more prescient resonances with the world around you. When we were making the film, of course there was COVID. So there's, similar to as it is in the movie, there's an invisible threat that's infecting the population. We also felt that it was a kind of portrait of America at that time. It was during the election, country was very divided. There was a lot of civil unrest, there was heat waves, the sky was on fire because of all the, forest fires. And it felt like we were on the precipice of an apocalypse when we were making the movie. And it was uncanny. It felt like it was the perfect time to make the film, even though the original idea came from the writer 10 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. Now let's talk about your actors. I love Riz Ahmed here. I mean, his character is sort of unreliable, right? He's an unreliable narrator, but yet we follow him all the way to the end because he's fantastic, and the kid actors as well. So how did you zero in on Riz Ahmed?
It was one of those fortunate things where he read the script and he approached me to be in it, and it doesn't always happen that way round. So it was very fortunate that it kind of landed on his desk via his agent, and he was like, this is what I want to do next. And I think Riz is always attracted to roles that really challenge him and push him out of his comfort zone. He'd never played a father on screen. He'd never played this kind of Marine veteran. So we met and he pitched himself on the project, and he just had so many qualities that I thought was right for the character. He's got toughness about him, an edge, but he's also very, there's a kind of vulnerability about Riz, and he likes to explore the vulnerability of his characters. And I just thought that combination was really exciting. And so it was evident it had to be him.
But the kid actors are amazing as well. Talk to us briefly about Lucian Rivers.
I mean, yeah, he's someone that hadn't been in a film before. He'd been in a couple of TV shows in Canada. And, we made him do quite a few scenes in the audition process. I couldn't get the actors to meet until we were close to shooting. So I needed to be convinced that he was the right actor for the role. And so he did the hardest scenes over Zoom. And he had all of us, me, the casting director, the producers, all in tears as we were watching his performance. And then, when we were working together, he's such a humble and thoughtful, young guy. And what he was particularly great at was, just being very present in the scene. You can see a lot of actors are kind of just waiting for their turn to speak, but so much of his performance is processing and thinking. And you could just see when the camera's on him that there's, the cogs are turning, and he's really studying his father to try and figure out who he is. And that's not something that every actor does, even if they're adult, never mind if they're a child.
Mr. Michael, I just have a few seconds left. I really, really want to ask you this.
Sure.
The quick thing about your creative direction. I mean, it started as sci-fi and kind of ended it like a psychological family drama. What inspired that?
I think it just, I like movies that are kind of always shape-shifting and you can't pigeonhole them that much. It makes it just a very fresh and unpredictable experience for an audience member, because you feel like you're seeing, you know, that type of film for the first time. And so that was already in the script, and I just wanted to embrace that kind of hybrid genre identity and really be ambitious with it. So yeah, it was in the DNA of the film, and I wasn't going to change that because I loved it when I first read that script.
I love it as well. I was gonna say Encounter took us out of this world and then back grounded us in reality again, and I love that. So big congrats on Encounter again, and happy holidays. Okay.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.